I wanted to show a bit of one of my favourite Australians. I wish you would come on the show. Please, Lydia, come on the show, because you are one of my favourite Australians. And Lydia does so much to put forward the reasons why Australians should or should not vote for The Voice. Have a listen to this exchange earlier this week.
We also have First Nations police who are doing their best to improve the situation across the Northern Territory. Doesn't matter what colour you are. Not just in Alice Springs.
Shame on you.
No, shame on you. You're the one who brings disgrace.
They're the ones killing our people.
You bring disgrace not only to this Senate. You are the disgrace.
You tell that to J. Walker's family.
How dare you?
Tell that to J. Walker's family.
You're a disgrace
Concrete
to the Senate, and you're a disgrace to your people.
Okay.
You're a disgrace to your people. She did not like that, Lydia. I tell you, we keep getting told this lie that the Indigenous community speaks as one. If you've got a voice, it will represent the entire Indigenous community. No. They are like every other community, very much divided in how they feel about issues. They're a diverse group of people with diverse views, and that's a good example of that.
But that is how The Voice would work. You would have disagreement, and you would have that sort of accusation about, the police. So you would have The Voice, and there's an example of how The Voice could possibly work. And you would have people accusing, money's going to the police, let's defund the police. This is the sort of stuff that Australians are being asked to put into the Constitution. Give me a break.
But Paul Kelly makes a really, really good point, too, just off the back of what Rita was just saying. He also, in this piece, says that basically, it's for the whole country to decide. It doesn't really matter if, 8 out of 10 Indigenous or 9 out of 10 support it, because it's about the entire country and the entire country's constitution, and the conversation needs to come back to that. And this week, we are going to see Albo push very hard on this idea that this is really all about, what this one particular subset want, and that if you don't go along with that, then somehow you're a terrible person. That's the moral blackmail that has been inherent in this whole debate from the very start, and it needs to be called out and said no to.
Okay. What we need is we call it a royal commission, you can call it an inquiry. It needs to be a deep dive into why this gap, this disadvantage continues despite the enormous resources we devote to addressing it. More than 30 billion.
You don't need an inquiry, Rita. I can tell you flat out. Very simply, it goes right back to Gough Whitlam and Nugget Coombs and the idea that they brought in that you could have remote rural communities that maintained what they called an original lifestyle and still plug into the economy and be successful. You can't. It never worked. It was never going to work, and it's ended up with socialism in the remote communities. We're going to have more of that, and until we get to the root cause of the economic, political situation that is at the root cause of Aboriginal disadvantage, it's the left who brought it about, it's the left who promoted it, it's the left who kept it going, and until you get a Conservative government who are prepared, which several Conservative governments have not been prepared to do, to get right down to that basic fundamental problem that occurred in the mid-70s that has created such chaos ever since.